Day 53. Where do I begin? We had found Enna in Antinua, but much to our surprise, it ended up being a trap. Agatha the Hag and another of her kind had tricked us into thinking they were our friends. Because of them, we fought our way through a temple, got the Heartstone artifact, almost lost Varin to mummy rot, and finally lost the artifact to her. Naturally, we sent out to get it back, but we wound up being sent to another realm. This land is neither forest nor grasslands. It is hot, dry, and barren. I think it's called a desert based on what the locals call it. And the locals here are very strange. That is to say, different from what we usually encounter. They are nice and helpful, especially after we cleared out their temple. Oh, elf ears, their temple was scary. Deep inside, we came across a room which had glyphs and texts, but it was almost like it was forbidden for our eyes. So the temple told us to leave. Even teleported Varin out of the temple itself. Utterly strange. Another day approaching, and what will it bring? Will we ever get back to our village? Will we ever see our friends again? Only time will tell.
And we are back to the land of the hunter. The rest of our day following the battles has passed with rest while we listen to people tending their injured and preparing their dead for their final rites. During this time of eating and quiet reflection on the various battles, Thea shares with Dell the tale of our adventures so far. I imagine, Adrian, that you translate a lot of it to our hosts, Kia and Becca Taman.
Yes.
Fair. You learn as this goes on that they're recently married, as in within the last 10 or 20 days.
Ah.
After listening to the entirety of our tale, Dell sits back for a little while and just does something that we've seen him do at home several times. He closes his eyes and retreats into his mind to think on everything. While that happens, Priestess Gorga returns, dropping off some hide parchment rolled up into scrolls for you to look through. But she doesn't stay to help because she has to go and attend the fallen. With her go Becca Taman, still utterly wordless, and Kia. And after a little while, one of you happens to glance out and sees that there is a column of smoke to the north, presumably where they are burning the fallen. The rolled up hide parchments that Priestess Gorga brought proved to be star charts, but not organized. It takes you the better part of a couple of hours to figure out where basically the timeline of the star charts, but even with that, you're able to, even with the chaotic arrangement, if you will, of them, Adrian, you're able at a glance to recognize that these are the same constellations that your great-great-grandfather and grandmother, Thamior and Althea, have mapped themselves. Just under different names. Same constellations, different names.
Okay.
As night falls and the Tamon tribe return from tending their fallen. Priestess Gorga kind of looks down at you and notes that you've actually organized and arranged her star charts, gives a kind of snort, and then beckons you out under the stars to compare them to the night sky and attempt to determine where you are in the world. Hold on a moment. Alright, so if you would like to attempt to compare the star charts into the night sky above, please give me an investigation check. That is not enough.
Yeah, I was hoping that would be.
Alright, so that the first hour of doing this is roughly around 9 in the evening, passes, and yeah, none of the star charts are lining up. Some of them might even be upside down. It's a little hard to tell, or sideways even. So 10 o'clock comes around. Please give me another
Well, the ink looks a little faded.
Yeah, a little faded. There's a hole in one. Something looks like something might have chewed it or burnt it. Let's just say Priestess Gorga is...
I recognize this start... Wait a second.
Let's just say Priestess Gorga... Yeah?
I was going to say, wait a second, I recognize these star charts. Wait a second, no, they're crumbs. Yeah, and I wipe them away.
Priestess Gorga pretends not to notice. Let's just say she's not exactly the most organized. If you wish to give me another investigation check, sir.
Sure. Here we go.
As you begin the second hour of looking through the maps. Wow. You hit a stroke of luck. And you find that some of the star charts you're holding are lining up. You're able to realize that even though you're in a different part of the world, we are still in the same world as before we teleported. And we're not terribly distant from home. Sort of. Distance being relative, shall we say. After some time of calculating and comparing and between the two of you, you're able to determine that we have been moved somewhere between 600 to 800 miles roughly to the east of our forest home. Whoa, indeed, mutters Adran, and I imagine Priestess Gorga's own eyebrows go up. Ugh, long way from home, little one. She sits back and thinks about this for a moment. You come then from our west to your east. Interesting. Adran, you have something to say? Ah, I see. To our knowledge, there are mountains in the west of our land. Impassable mountains. None we know have ever crossed them successfully, or at least not crossed them and returned. We know them as the world's bite, and for generations now we have thought them to be the edge of our world. As she says this, Adran, if you wish, you can give me an insight check. Unless you want to just trust what she's saying. Okay. She is holding... She's not being untruthful, per se, but she is omitting something. And she continues as you consider. We know of no way through the world's bite. I'm sorry, little one. They are indeed a harsh land, a hard place, and unfriendly to those who travel the heights. Something else for you to say. Got it? Have many traveled and returned unharmed? Is that what you mean to say? Okay. Some have traveled, some have returned. Few have returned whole. Some have returned, minds broken, shall we say. As I said, a hard land. But at least we now know that you are indeed in the world from whence you came. It seems you are not yet cast beyond the borders into a different world, or even a different reality. It is long by feet, but less long than being an entire reality away. It has been a long day, hard battling, and you and your friend need sleep. I suppose you will tell them. I can't imagine they will be pleased. Um, as pleased off? Oof. Are you having troubles typing, sir? Now with that investigation success, comparing the star charts to the night sky above, you're able to calculate that you're basically it's been about a day since we last battled Nanny Agatha and her companion, which means we were basically unconscious and apparently teleported or something an entire day. You return to the tent with Thía and Bakataman, while Gorga returns to her own tent and settle in for the night. By the way, you can give me either insight or perception checks. Either or. And Thía can as well. Is this for yourself or for Thía? Okay, so you get a 12. And does Thía want to also take a perception check? Go for Thía. You're able to, and both of you are able to ascertain that when Varin first came into the tent and laid down to rest, and had apparently gone to sleep, he had instead remained awake and attentive, listening to everything passing around him. Only once everyone settles in for a long rest does Varin finally settle and quietly go to sleep. Where is my thing for the next day? 1 second, because I left it in a different folder. Indeed. The next day dawns, even as early as it is, at around 80 degrees. There is a strong wind blowing to the south and towards the southeast. No rain, and definitely no snow. At the sight of the weather, Thía immediately sets out from the tent. She doesn't even wait to make breakfast, and within moments you can hear her speaking in a different tongue, not Goblin, to the young lad who announced himself as Bakatamon's herald. When she returns, she's actually dusting sand out of her hair, glances at the three of us. I apologize. There is a storm of wind and sand on the way. We will not be traveling. We will be remaining in this camp. It is too easy to get lost, and I advise you, if you had any inclination, do not wander from the camp. As the day goes on, it'll get far more difficult to see. And as you may recall, strong winds imposes disadvantage on ranged weapon attack rolls and perception checks that rely on hearing. Also extinguishes flames, disperses fog, and makes flying by non-magical means nearly impossible. And with sand starting to kick up into flight, it also imposes disadvantage on perception checks that rely on sight. Translate the script from the temple. Do you mean from the temple where we found the Heartstone artifact? You can certainly try, and since you now have minor illusion, you can recreate to exact detail the chamber itself in illusory form. Once I find it. I'm sure you're excited to have minor illusion. Excellent. I would ask you to read it, but you're requiring to be quiet. Where did I put that? I see. No worries. While I'm searching for this, Dell wakes up, or rather stirs from his meditation, opens his eyes, looks at all of us. Good morning, Adran, Thía, Varin. I understand that we're in a difficult and dangerous situation. I wanted you to know I decided during the night, and I've committed to my decision. I have become an acolyte of Seba. I will be your healing hands in this journey until we can get home, and I will commit the rest of my life to serving Seba if we survive and get home again. He gives a nervous little smile, but is calm. By Seba's grace. He gives a small shrug. It seemed the least I could do. I mean, you've been fighting for us for quite a few months, risking your lives. I'm not much of a fighter myself, but perhaps I can aid in this way. He bobs his head, perhaps a little embarrassed. And Adran, here it is. I finally found it. You can give me, okay, you've completed that one, an investigation check, sir, as you study the illusory image of the chamber. Excellent. So before, you recognized that the letters used are Sylvan in origin, yet the words made no sense. Now you recognize that part of the reason it doesn't make sense is because while the alphabet of each word is written in the Sylvan alphabet, it's using the Dwarven syntax to construct the sentences. You can give me another investigation check, please. That was a very late roll. The dice just rolled on my end. Interesting. So you can give me another investigation check if you please. And while you're doing that, Varin stirs from his slumber. Wow, good roll. And after only a few moments of listening to the wind and the noise outside, there is growing conversation, noise, sounds and smells, and clearly people stirring as they go about their day and secure the tents for a sandstorm. Varin shudders, finishes his breakfast quietly, and mutters, "I'm going to just step out. There's too much noise. I can't even think." And without further explanation, Varin pushes his way out of the tent into the whirling, blowing sand. And you have something to say. Varin does not bother replying to your shout of "don't wander too far." Thea, I imagine, looks at you. He doesn't seem well. I know he's got that elemental curse, but he really doesn't seem well. With that 19, that is another success. And you have something further to say. I mean, you did tell us that we're a long ways from home. That's probably something that's weighing on all of our minds. With that 19, sir, you have now figured out that the words written on the walls of the temple use the Sylvan alphabet, the Dwarven syntax, and form Elven words. It is a confusing structure, to say the least. If you wish, let's see. I'll say it's probably around 10 in the morning by now. You can give me another investigation check, sir. You're rolling really well so far. Nat 20. Yeah, that succeeds. This is where you realize why it's necessary for you to have some form of a visual depiction of the room. The sentences from the walls alternate between east and west walls for the first paragraph. Then they alternate between the north and south walls for the second paragraph and continue switching back and forth. Do you explain this to Thea? She gives you a confused look. Dell listens, but is also thoroughly confused by all this. The text that was written on the walls explain in very, very careful detail the steps that must be taken in order to use the Heartstone artifact, in order to place a specific creature in an extra-dimensional prison cell, both literally and metaphysically, as well as the steps to remove a specific creature from an extra-dimensional prison cell, both literally and metaphysically. One particular requirement of note is that a creature's true name must be used in this working. As you study this, it becomes rapidly clear from the instructions alone that they are meant for arcane wielders of tremendous skill and power, the level of which beggars your imagination and quite probably humbles the skill of your great-great-grandfather Thamior. There is, however, an addendum at the end of the instructions, which explains how the artifact might be used in the absence of such incredible magicians, so long as both a power crystal and a dimensional portal are available. The steps are complicated and would require quite some time to set the desired events in motion. Thea rubs her chin. So, the Power Stone, would that be what Agatha was using along with the dimensional portal? To do what? But she was using it before we were even there. She didn't expect us to come and find her. Dell will interrupt. I can speak from some knowledge. She did not expect you to find her. She was gloating that she had finally lost all of you as her pursuers. She thought herself very clever. And she didn't say much, but what she did say was that, well, I was meant to be a gift for she said a returning home gift. I wasn't particularly paying much attention because I was poisoned and kind of figured I was going to die soon. But she did say that I was meant to be a gift to someone who was returning home, yes. It didn't make much sense. It didn't make much sense to me at the time. You can give me either you, Adran, and Thea, if you wish, can give insight checks or intelligence checks. Okay, and for Thea? Although I will say that Adran did succeed, so okay. Thea doesn't make much sense to Thea. But for wait, which one is first? Was it 17 for Adran? Okay. You recall that there was, when we were fighting Nanny Agatha and her companion, the portal that the Heartstone artifact was in showed signs of something trying to reach through some form of a barrier. From somewhere unknown. In regards, did you do something different in regards to the Heartstone artifact? Well, you did interrupt it when you threw the iron bands of Bolaro around it. which probably resulted in some form of a, let's call it a mishap, a backlash of power, which resulted in us being moved a great distance, along with the Hearthstone artifact and the power crystal attached to it, all bound up in the iron bands of Bolaro, and still, by the way, burning hot in your pouch. Sorry, not your pouch, your backpack. By the way, you will note that the text on the walls of the chamber are different from the text on the columns that were in the chamber. So if you wish, you can attempt to figure out the pattern of the column text with another investigation check. Not quite enough. You puzzle and puzzle and puzzle until noontime, and you're interrupted by lunch. As you eat, Thía brings up... Oh, I'm on the wrong page for that. Nom nom nom. 1 second, I need to pause recording for a second, and we're back. Except for the minor technical difficulties. So Thía turns to us as she feeds us lunch, and speaks to Thía through you, Adran, that she understands from our tale that there is a curse on her in the form of some undead monster called a revenant. She doesn't know anything about revenants themselves, but she does know, as she continues, there are sometimes... Well, Gorga told you that there are secrets in the sands.
Yes.
One of the things that are revealed from time to time is the fact that the sands, the dunes, shift. They move about. Blown by the wind, shifted by the earth, sometimes it seems. We're never really sure how they move, but we do know that they do move. As a result, sometimes we find old ruins that were buried beneath the sands. Within these ruins, we have sometimes found magic items, magic devices.
Well, that sounds interesting.
It might be possible that there are magic items within such ruins that might enable her to be freed of the Revenant. But if you dare to explore them, I'd advise you to be cautious. Don't go too deep, and beware of, well, other potential inhabitants. It can get kind of dangerous.
Well, I think we're pretty much well aware of different inhabitants.
Your tales do indicate that you can handle yourselves, but I do not wish to send you potentially into danger.
Well, we definitely appreciate the advisory.
She nods, and then makes sure that we're all satisfied with our food and drink. Though she kind of looks around. Varin does not wish to eat? He's not within the tent.
He's, how you say, got something complicated on his mind.
Oh, the curse of which you spoke.
Yes.
It must weigh heavily on him that his mere presence is a danger to his friends.
But I think there may be other things that he's keeping from us. Not sure exactly what they are, but when he's ready to talk, he'll talk.
At least you know him well. Did you want to attempt one more time to figure out the column text?
Yes, since I still have that open and available, and since I'm still confined to the tent.
Yes, you may go ahead with your investigation check.
Alright, roll me there.
Still not enough. The text on the columns make
Sorry.
seemingly less sense than the text on the walls. Um, I'll ask, how long do you want to spend all day working at it?
No. I'm gonna be like getting frustrated looking at it, so
Fair enough.
I'll let the illusion pass.
I'm okay. Thea is missing 7 arrows from her quiver, and she has 44 arrows remaining in her spare quivers.
Although I am kind of concerned a little bit about the artifact and the bands of
And how
Bellario.
it's still super hot.
And do I need to unleash it, or will that just do something sporadic? Or
You're intelligent enough to know that, or rather not to know, but assume that removing the iron bands of Bellario, since the Heartstone artifact is still glowing red hot, removing the iron bands of Bellario might make it impossible to handle.
but is there like some way of like cooling it down or deactivating it?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
It does not seem like you're able to figure it out. The clues might be in the instructions from the wall text of the chamber where we found the artifact.
Right. Well, maybe I should.
And Varin, while he's out
Maybe
there
I
going
should give it
to
like
something.
another hour or so and then find out.
Wow. Varin rolled a 25 for his stealth check.
What does it need as stealth check?
Well, you don't know what he's doing because you're still in the tent, and Varin is somewhere outside in the sandstorm. And has been for several hours.
I'm getting a little concerned for him.
Alright, so Thea has replenished her arrows from her backup supply. She is down to, of the 3 quivers that she left home with, basically a little bit more than 1.5 quivers left before she is completely out of arrows.
Well, I still have 3 full quivers.
Duly noted.
She could take one of my quivers if she wants.
For now, we'll hold off and let the actual official player decide when she returns. Right. Unless there's anything else you wish to do, examining the text or whatever. You can attempt another investigation on that the column text if you bring up the illusion with your minor illusion again.
Yeah, minor illusion.
Okay, and give me an investigation check.
Right, investigation.
It seems like you almost figured it out, and then it just gets confusing again. You feel your eyes start to cross. Thea starts giggling a little bit. Too long hitting the books, Adran.
Hitting the books, hitting the illusions.
The sandstorm grows stronger as the day passes. It is getting close to evening when the young lad, the Herald of Bakataman, enters. He has, as you've noticed before, a pronounced scar across the bridge of his nose, and he's missing a finger on his left hand. He regards everyone within the tent calmly, offers a polite bow. Then turning to Thía, he speaks in Goblin. My lady, I spoke with the other guest, the hunter, Varin. He sent me to bring word to you and his companions. He has seen people on approach towards the village and towards our tribe. He investigated and he reports that hobgoblins are nearing. He has determined where they're going to stop in the storm to camp, and he sends words to his leader Adran and friend Thía that if they wish to have fun this evening, he will be waiting there, and if they do not, he may start without them. Kia scowls heavily, as does Bakatamon, though Bakatamon says nothing. Kia glances at you, Adran, and Thía as well. This does not please me. I understand that you have fought hobgoblins, but we have fought them as well. We have also fought alongside them. We have known them to be allies of a sort. It does not please me if you attack them, unless we know for sure that they intend harm against ourselves on this occasion.
Well, from where we come from, and that particular part of the land, we're dealing with a group of hobgoblins that are trying to bring destruction to our village. These hobgoblins may not be the same ones that we are currently dealing with, but there's also a possibility that they could be.
Without knowing for certain, I cannot approve of any hostile action that you might take against them. I would view it with unfortunate displeasure.
Oh.
Do you have any means of ascertaining who they are without engaging in violence?
There is possibility. We need to at least observe their armor.
Their armor?
Yes, their armor across their chest or on their shoulder, they give a certain tribe symbol. And if it's the same tribe symbol that we've been currently dealing with, then they are our enemies. But if I don't see that on their armor at all, then I know that they are not our enemies.
She rubs her chin for a moment. How would you see this armor without, well, attacking the creatures wearing it?
Just so long as the sandstorm calms down, we can use our telescopes.
Adran, I will point out, and I keep forgetting to actually add it to your character sheet, so I apologize for that. Go ahead and open your character sheet. Go into the bio. Go down to the treasure that you have, the treasure box.
Are you also going to be talking about the clairvoyance potions?
Yes, that is exactly what I was going to bring up, which apparently I did remember to put in your character sheet.
Yeah. You did actually put it in.
Yay me! I remembered at some point and then forgot. You do have 2 potions of clairvoyance. If they are within a mile, you could use a potion of clairvoyance to look in on the hobgoblin camp.
That is true.
But do you know if they are within 1
mile? I have no idea. I would have to get in touch with Varin.
Tomlin clears his throat and then unfolds a map of the region. It is recently drawn and clumsily drawn, but legible enough. Your friend Varin said that he figured you might have a hard time finding them without his assistance. And points out on the map roughly where the camp is. It is within a mile of the tribe. Now you do have 2 potions of clairvoyance. Yes. Did you want to use one and have Thía use the other, or do you just want to have you be the only one using it?
I'll be the one to use it. So.
Okay. So when you drink it, you'll create an invisible sensor within range, which is 1 mile, in the location that is familiar to you, which is something that you have visited or seen before, or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you. Something like, say, for example, behind a door, around a corner, or in a grove of trees. The sensor remains in place for the duration of the spell, which is 10 minutes. It cannot be attacked or otherwise interacted with.
Right.
When you cast a spell, you choose seeing or hearing. You can choose the chosen sense. You can use the chosen sense through the sensor as if you were in its space. You can also use an action to switch between seeing and hearing. Okay. So, give me either intelligence or history check.
Let's see. Intelligence or history. Same. So, yes.
Nat 20. As you pull out the potion and you cast your mind back into your memories of the other camps that you have encountered so far, depending on seemingly depending on the mission of the hobgoblins you have encountered, it has determined the style in which the camp has been set up. But in either case, within the camp there has been a central tent within which usually the important business is done.
Right.
Or the important leaders have rested.
Right.
Where would you like to cast the clairvoyance spell, sir?
Just above the camp.
Above the camp means that you will be looking at the exteriors of the tents. Is that what you wish to do?
Oh, I really wish that I could go deep into the actual camp and see where...
Recall that you can choose a location that is unfamiliar to you. Behind a door, around a corner, in a grove of trees, within a tent.
Let's try within a tent.
Would you like? Do you want to choose the central tent?
Yes.
Okay. So you drink the potion, and it sort of works. By which I mean, the central tent must be slightly beyond a mile from where you currently are. The sensor basically comes into being... Oh, by the way, do you choose seeing or hearing?
Seeing.
The view that greets your eye is a little confusing until you realize that the sensor has appeared basically with one half outside the entrance of a tent and one half inside the entrance of the tent. So you're getting a bit of the outside view and a little bit of the inside view. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of crossed and kind of fuzzy.
Yep. Okay. Within the tent, they're outside the tent, you can see hobgoblins. They are struggling against the wind and flying sand, trying to put up their tents and tie them down securely. They seem to be gesturing and yelling at each other, though what they're saying you can't make out. They're pointing in various directions, gesturing up, gesturing across. Within the tent that you cast your eyeball into, sitting at a desk is a rather strong-looking hobgoblin who is sitting with his eyes wide open at a low traveling wooden desk, and he has a quill pen in his hand. He is writing something down and nodding his head. The attitude of his body suggests that he is listening to someone who you don't see in the tent and writing down whatever they're saying. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And as you watch the goings on, you can't see much of the armor, like the chest and shoulder of the person sitting within the tent. But on the armor of the hobgoblins outside the tent, you see a symbol, a raptor's eye, marked in the iris with an arrow's head. You will recall that these are indeed, that symbol is indeed that of some of the hobgoblins that you have encountered before. Same exact symbol.
So these are the same goblins or hobgoblins that we've encountered before.
Or at least they have the same symbol as hobgoblins we've encountered before.
So it should be from the same tribe.
So it would seem. Where did I put that? Here it is. You actually do recognize on the shoulders of the hobgoblins outside the tent, you do see symbols that are recognizable. You see some that indicate fresh foots, some that indicate dark eyes, and some that indicate blood hands. Within the tent, the hobgoblin that was sitting at the desk finishes writing down whatever he was writing down, closes the journal, and then puts it into a wooden chest, which he then locks. As he rises from his desk, you finally catch a glimpse of the marking on his shoulder. Now, you've not seen this word before on the hobgoblin armors, but you do recognize the word as exalted. Coincidentally, throughout all this, you've not seen any sign of Varin in the area. But you have seen a couple of tents being set up.
Well, that's interesting.
Thea looks to you. What are we going to do?
I think tonight we're gonna have to pay a little visit.
Thea gives you a sharp glance. I hope not a hostile visit, Adran.
Unfortunately, they are the ones that we've encountered. And not on good terms.
I understand that, but I cannot agree to you attacking them because they might be our allies. If you attack them, we would be obliged to come to their defense, and I have no wish to fight you or your friends. You've done us good turns, and we have no desire to return violence in exchange.
Is there any way you would be willing to meet them?
We have met them before. We have fought them before. I do not know if they intend to fight us or if they intend to be of aid to us this time. If you can find some way of knowing for certain that they intend us harm, well, then I have no qualms with you attacking them.
I feel as if I'm going to have to use my second clairvoyance, but this time use it for sound instead of sight.
Thea looks to you. Do you actually tell them everything that you saw?
Yes, I tell them everything that I saw.
Give me, for Thea, give me an insight check.
You know, my insight check might be different from her insight check.
You can give me an insight check for yourself as well. A 9 for Thea, or for you?
Thea.
Okay, and for yourself? Whatever that hobgoblin was writing down might be worthwhile. The exalted one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in a locked chest within the central tent.
Is there some way for us to check it out and not harm them?
Thea shrugs. Wait till nightfall, sneak in and steal it?
Yeah. Guess so.
Del clears his throat gently. Varin is still out there and might attack in the meantime. It might be worthwhile to try and find him and tell him not to. At least until you know for sure if they're hostile to our hosts.
I guess that's something we could do.
Real quick, do you want Del to, or do you want Del to come with?
No. I want Del to stay behind.
You wish him? Okay. You wish him to remain in the tent, in the camp where there is safety. Now, with the map that Varin drew, it is a little clumsy and doesn't contain all the details, but it's enough to find your way through the sandstorm to the camp.
Okay.
It will be, let's say, 10 in the evening by the time you reach there.
All right.
And you and Thea are both setting out, yes?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to move us over to the appropriate map.
All right.
And then I'll add your add tokens. Do you wish to which direction do you wish to approach the camp from? Because you're traveling towards it in a sandstorm. Do you wish to approach it from the north, the west, the east, the south?
Let's approach it from the south.
Okay. That means that you'll take a circuitous route. There are several dunes of sand between that you have to go around, and the swirling sandstorm makes things difficult. Ooh, excuse me. Okay.
But at least some of the dunes will give us at least a bit of a cover on approach.
Indeed. Ooh, beeping.
Yeah, that was the hollow.
Okay, and did I... Oops, that's why it's not working. Okay, good, that's working. Okay, so putting you in, and Thea. Do you wish to make stealth checks as you approach?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me stealth checks for you both. And that 20 is for...
me.
Okay, nice roll.
And here goes Thea.
Okay, and I just thought of something real quick.
Should I be able to pull
There
up
it goes.
her character sheet too?
Yeah, you should be able to because, well, her player's not here.
Come on. It's having a difficult time. There we go. A difficult time loading for me.
Not a problem.
I wanted to give her an
It is
actual
unfortunate.
stealth because her stealth is definitely higher than mine.
Right?
So, do you mind if I give her an actual stealth roll?
I do not mind. Go
Alright.
ahead.
Oh. Hang on. Okay, here we
Sure
go.
thing.
And this one is Thea's now.
Okay. That is some good stealth
Yes.
checks. Alright, so the enemy is to your northeast.
Right.
You have both rolled very well on your stealth. Are you proceeding with your shield in hand?
Let's see. My shield. Yes, my shield is in hand.
Okay. Then you can move both yourself and Thea, I believe. You should be able to move Thea.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's get ourselves actually on the board. There we go.
So, for the purposes of this, because we're in high wind and sandstorm, that means that your passive wisdom perception is currently at a 9.
Okay.
I wonder if I can actually adjust that mechanically. Passive perception modifier. Oh, okay. Perception. Let's just put as. Let's see if that works. Oops. Okay, your passive perception is set to 9.
Okay.
And Thea is also going to have disadvantage. It's just because of the wind and sand. Okay, so you now are moving. The ground that you're on is normal terrain. The only thing you're contending with is the sand storm. You also do have message. Do you wish to cast it in the hopes that Varin is somewhere within your range? What's it, 100 feet?
I thought it was 150, but here, let me check. Message. 120 feet.
Range 120. Excellent, thank you, sir. I'm going to put an aura on you. You don't know where Varin is. Let's make this a rather pale aura so it's not going to interfere too much. There you go.
Okay.
Alright, so you can attempt to message, and you'll know if Varin's within range, basically when he replies. You can move both your tokens as you wish. And I'm going to assume that you're just continuing to cast message.
Yeah.
While you sneak along. But you receive no reply as yet.
Well, looks like Thea is getting closer. I still haven't been able to get a hold of Varin.
And at this point, since we're more in a actual encounter play, I'll have you just go ahead and take over speaking for Thea as well.
Alright. So, Thea, I'm gonna have you go a little east here and see if you can get a hold of, or see if you can find Varin. So, I'm gonna have her go here.
And now a couple of tents come within sight.
Yeah.
It is taken because you came from the south rather than from the north. Let's say it's closer to 11 o'clock at night.
Varin is nowhere near there, she says. So now she's gonna go back to Adran. Okay, so he is not there. All right, I guess we'll just have to venture a little north. Try to stay just outside of the tents or camp, so not to bother anyone just of yet.
And because of the swirling sand, there's no source of light.
I think that might be him right out there. I don't know. Go check. Oh, nuts. I thought it was him, but it was just that weird spiky tree.
Not quite prickly enough to be Varin.
Not yet.
But
Inspiration point if you don't have one.
Oh, thank you. I don't have one. I will take it. Now, you are wandering well far past the camp, by the way.
Well, we didn't want to, wait a second. Camp isn't that small, is it?
You only saw a little bit of it. Well, because you're the clairvoyance was kind of like half in, half out.
That is true.
You see another couple of tents.
I'm gonna message to Thea
And
have Thea, hey, go more east. So, come across another
she
tent.
sees it's sort of a tent. The walls are slightly better maintained than simple hide. There's definitely an odor of waste from it. And from Thea's position, she can hear rumblings within. Kind of like, you're muted, sir. I don't know if you're saying anything.
It is an outhouse of sorts.
Given the smell, that's a very strong likelihood.
She's going to trudge back over here.
Just report back. Very smelly. It is worth noting that there is someone within it, which means that there is someone still awake.
So there is a structure, more of a doo-doo dwelling. Oh, goodness. Well, I don't want to venture that way. We still haven't come across a bear.
Why ever not? You haven't even been able to reach him on message.
No, we haven't. He's not in range.
Where on earth could he be?
Alright, I'm gonna tell Thea, since she has the highest of the stealth, and she can move a little bit faster than I can. How about you circle the camp? Go all the way around the camp and then come back and find me. Hopefully you run into Varin, and then Varin will hopefully meet up with all of us. So I'm going to have her move all around. Definitely staying outside the range of that doo-doo dwelling. Okay. Now I feel like I'm getting to the darker terrain, which I assume that is rough terrain.
That darker terrain is actually still normal terrain. It's just outside the range of message.
Oh, that's the range of message. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Roll me a d6.
A d6. Oh boy.
Okay. You can just barely through the howling wind hear the closing of some form of like a passageway and trudging of sand.
Oh, that's interesting.
Question: are you like laying flat on the ground, or are you standing?
Me?
Yes, you. Specifically,
kind of
you.
Kneeling.
So you're not standing up like as an obvious, any sort of an obvious silhouette in the sand.
No, I'm kneeling down with my shield placed right in front of me.
You see a hobgoblin with the markings of a blood hand on his armor come trudging from the direction of the stinky tent, heading for one of the tents. Thea sees ahead of her one of the sand dunes, which you may recall is difficult terrain. The blood hand in front of you, Adran, examines the tent, rumbles something unkind, and with one hand on the shell of the tent, makes his way past it. Clearly having some difficulty in the sand and the flying
Sandstorm.
storm. Yes. before moving into the tent and starting to closing it. Where does Thea wish to go?
Thea wishes to just stay below the dune. She still doesn't see Varin anywhere. Now, just to keep herself away from the tent, she's going to go up the dune. See about maybe, I'm assuming that this is a hilltop.
That is a hilltop. How stealthily is she proceeding? Like, is she just walking up it, or is she going to, like, crawl up it?
I think she is going to... I don't know exactly how to say it. Sort of crouch, but still walk. If that's a thing.
Crouch. Oh, okay, so she's kind of like crouch
walking. Yeah.
Okay. Then she can proceed.
Yeah. Apparently I cannot go up that hill. Or at least up to that black side.
I might have left it on the wrong setting.
And a ghost wall.
Okay, so hold still for a second. Ah, yes, I did leave it on the wrong setting. My bad.
Okay.
I need to go into the settings and fix this. Okay, so she should be able to move past it now.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
As she kind of crab walks her way up, the next layer of the hill has a structure on it. It looks like heavy logs bound together with leather cords and stuck into the ground, forming an actual wall of sorts. And within it, she can hear shuffling noises, grunts, sleepy coughs from multiple throats.
Okay, I'm going to say she doesn't want to venture too far forward. Maybe venture around. Is there any indication of any doors or windows?
There are gaps. There are gaps where people can walk through, which I imagine she lays down just very, very slowly and carefully crawls. You can give me a perception check with disadvantage.
All right, let's see. Where's her page? Here. Perception check. Here we go. You said it with disadvantage.
With disadvantage because she's trying to see through flying, blinding sand.
Here we go.
It's all but impossible to see within.
Okay. So.
It's just flying sand, especially up here on top of a bunch of piled up sand.
So she is just going to move steadily around it, hoping that whoever's inside doesn't see her.
I mean, she did roll a pretty good stealth check. At 21, I believe, earlier.
Okay.
Since she is, I was going to say she can give me another stealth check, but since there's flying sand, I'm not going to call for it. Flying sand, I imagine, hides something of the sound of moving sand, since flying sand is still moving.
Yeah. So, still no idea where Varin is. Where is he? Okay, so she's gonna move away from them.
And you still haven't been able to raise Varin on message.
No, I haven't. So I'm going to check this next hill. Surprisingly, nobody's here.
It seems likely that the Hobgoblin set up some form of a watch, or at least a guard post of some form.
Oh, this is very discouraging.
Where is Varin?
We have no idea where he is. Don't tell me he's actually in one of the tents. Nope.
Now, Adran, would Varin do that?
Oh, he's a little unpredictable these days.
So Thía has now moved outside of off the sand dune back onto normal terrain, and has nearly completed her reconnoiter.
So, she is within range, and I'm shouting, Thea, do you hear me? Yes, Adrian, I do. What's the word on Varin? I still haven't been able to find him. So he's nowhere near the campsite. Is he further away? Perhaps we should check north. Perhaps we should.
Well, if he is to the north, wouldn't your message have reached him?
I don't know. Varin, can you hear me?
I mean, there is no reply along the magical channel. I said challenge.
It's quite a challenge trying to talk to him.
Especially apparently when he doesn't wish to be talked to.
Now my question is he anywhere nearby?
He did say he would be nearby.
Where? He is out scouting further and further.
No sign of Varin. No tracks to follow in this flying sand either.
No, he's just so hard to find right now.
Do you wish to send Thea into the camp to excuse me, see if she can procure the either the chest or the journal?
I think I will, since we can't really depend on Varin right now. Back us up.
You can. I mean, you did roll a really good stealth check. You can move in with her as well.
All right.
Like she got a 21. What'd you get?
I think I got a 20.
A 20. And everyone's at disadvantage to see, hear, etc.
So I'm gonna move in along with the.
And also, are you still continuing to try and reach Varin with messages?
Yes.
Okay. What are you trying to say to him?
Please talk to me. Please let me know you're nearby.
I am nearby. What took you so long?
Where are you?
I watched Thea pass by me not a few moments ago.
Why didn't you reach out to talk to her? She was looking for you.
Because I'm hiding near a bunch of hobgoblins. And they're awake.
Hang on. I'm now turning in messaging towards Thea. Which now Thea is kind of going into the camp. Thea? Yes, Adran, I hear you. Did you pass by a group of hobgoblins near like a lookout point or something? Yes, near the southeast or east side. It's on top of a hill with like log barriers or something of sorts. Apparently that's where Varin was. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you at all. No, he was there. And he saw you walk right by. How come he didn't reach out to talk to me? Because he doesn't have message like I do. Hang on. Now I'm sending it directly back to Varin. Okay. So how many hobgoblins do you see in that little lookout point.
There are 4 of them.
4 of them. Are any of them asleep? Awake?
They're all awake.
All right. How about you?
But they can't see worth anything.
How about you remain there and let me know, and I'll check in with you to see if they've changed their status yet. I'm going to be sending Thea into the main tent to see if she can find that journal that I found. Oh yeah, that's right. I used a potion of clairvoyance so that I could see into their camp. And there was quite a few interesting things. We're going to go in and see if we can find a specific item.
There's a moment of bafflement, and then Varin replies, "Why?"
Because it could be important information about who these guys are, why are they here, and what are they doing here.
We know who they are. They're hobgoblins.
Yes, but are these the same hobgoblins that are a part of the same tribe as the ones we were currently dealing with?
I'll wait.
Remember, too, we are 600 miles away from our village.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten.
Yeah. These could be a whole other different tribe. Still brandishing...
Does it matter?
Still brandishing the same iconic emblems on their armor, but could possibly be a whole different tribe.
Does it matter? Varin asks again. They are hobgoblins.
It does matter. We need to be sure that these are hostile. They could be peaceful hobgoblins, but we need to make sure before going in and making a choice of declaring violence against them.
Varin makes a rude sound in reply and does not say anything further.
All right. I now direct my message to Thea. Say, okay, Thea, let's go check it out. She moves close to the tent, but not really wanting to go in. I move.
Is she going to... so she's just like listening at the edge. Okay, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Right. Perception check. Okay, I'm still on disadvantage.
Yes, that is a 12. Oh, nice roll. She hears heavy snoring inside.
Heavy snoring inside. So, yeah, is it safe to go in and check it out? Yes. It seems as if whoever is inside is sleeping. So she goes in and checks.
Okay, so let me... hang on. I'm just gonna go ahead and move this. There we go. So she's within the tent. There, oops. Oops. There we go. Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. And there.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Sleeping on a mat, or sorry, a foldable cot, right near the tent entrance, is the hobgoblin with the word "exalted" on his armor. Across the tent from him is a wooden desk with the chest on it.
Okay, so she moves to the table with the chest.
Okay. Does she want to open it here, or does she want to take the chest out of the tent?
I think she wants to open it up here.
Then she can give me a thieves tool check. with her dexterity. So you'll click on Thieves Tools
Okay, these two.
and select the dexterity attribute, and then hit submit. At normal.
Normal. Okay, attribute.
Thieves Tool.
Alright, thieves tool. Hit attribute. Normal.
Dexterity.
Oh, dexterity.
For her Thieves Tool check.
Okay, so how do I do that?
So you'll hit the words Thieves Tools, and it'll come up with a question like, select your attribute. You'll select dexterity from the drop-down menu.
It is not giving me a drop down.
Okay, I'll take care of it for you then.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's enough. She manages to undo the lock with hardly a whisper of sound. Open up the chest, and there within lies the journal that Adran saw. Little wrinkle, Thía does not read Goblin.
Oh, great.
So she'll have to take it to you, Adran.
Hang on a second. Now I got this window that's come up, and it will not leave my screen.
Do you have cancel as an option?
There we go. Okay, jeez. I was trying to click on it, and for some reason it froze my computer, and I'm like, oh no, no, no.
Oh, jeez.
But I finally cleared it. Sorry.
There you go. So Thía can take the journal out and take it to you,
Okay.
Adran.
Here. Okay, so she takes the journal out, she gives it to Adran. Now Adran opens up the journal and he reads.
Alright. I assume you're opening it to the last page kind
Yes.
of thing? Okay. And let's see if this works. Did it pop up on your screen?
Warlord Haggoth commands an alliance with these savage beasts. It is irksome to be tasked as the emissary in these deals. But if the rumors are true, then the powers of Crusovians Hyde might prove worth the effort. I admit the alternative to alliance appeals to me far more. Eradicating, thank you. Never seen that word.
You're welcome.
Eradicating the tribes and their entire troublesome. What's that word? Progeny. Okay. Eradicating the tribes and their entire troublesome progeny would be a little taxing, perhaps, but I am constrained from sabotaging. Or is that right? Sabotage? No.
Yep,
Sabotaging?
sabotaging.
Okay. Sabotaging these procedures. And Master Nagaroth will know if I deliberately fail. Had I known before how tiresome his scrying sessions truly were, would I have bothered attaining the exalted rank? Well, yes, I would. How much power do these tribes hide? That we are approaching them with subterfuge? Or perhaps is it the threat posed by Adran, Thía, and Varin? These wandering elves who supposedly stopped my scouts in the far west. Wait a second. They know us by name. Master Nagaroth did not say so openly, but he seems to believe that those three had surpassed Warlord Haggoth's expectations. It is, or is it, his hope to use these primitives and the powers of their hidden temples combined with our might against the elves? How much have those three cost us? Exalted Tona. Well, that's really interesting.
What do you wish to do, sir? By the way, I'm aware of the time. Would you like to take a quick 10-minute break and come back, or keep playing?
I want to keep playing, but some of the conversation in here is just a little confusing to me. Kind of need to go back and reread it. I guess we could take a break.
Alright, then we will take a quick 10-minute break for our own short rest and come back in a moment. Pausing on your end. And we are back from our short rest. Adran, you've read through the journal entry. Probably read through it twice, all things considered. What do you decide to do?
I send a direct message to Varin.
Okay.
Hey, Varin, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I have some information that needs to be discussed, along with the tribal leaders that are allowing us shelter and sanctuary. It is important that we get to them first and explain to them what is in this journal that I've acquired.
Okay.
And that is, they need to know what is going on here before we do anything to this village or to this camp.
So in other words, I'm still not allowed to attack.
No, you are not allowed to attack. Not right now. Because what's vital is whatever information I found in this journal will either be a threat to our new friends or it'll be their saving grace.
What do you want me to do then, oh mighty leader?
We head back to our saviors in our sanctuary.
I am not really in a good position to move here.
Do you need a distraction of sorts?
Wouldn't that basically start a fight?
Where exactly are you?
I'm on the sand, dune, hill, near the watch.
Well, their visibility should be difficult, just like ours is. Just try and move away from it, nice and slow.
I'm really well hidden here. I don't want to move, and it's kind of inconvenient if I do.
You almost need to see where you're at.
You're not gonna find me.
Well, I don't want you attacking.
I'm not attacking, I'm waiting. You told me not to, so I'm not attacking.
So, you need to find yourself a way to get away from them. And back to camp.
as you're saying this, are you still searching around, or are you just looking for me? Like you're
I'm
just like moving your eyes around the through the sand, looking around.
I'm slowly making my way to you.
Are you? But are you looking around trying to find me?
Yes, I'm looking around trying to find you.
As part of your searching, you catch a brief glimpse of someone moving on the other side of the camp through the sand.
What's that?
Are you going to proceed further up the dune?
Yeah.
Okay. Not much time has passed, so I'm still going to let the stealth check roll, but you might want to be very careful about proceeding too far up.
Yeah. I've got Thea moving real close behind me.
Do you message it into Varin?
Yeah.
Okay, so where you are right now, the dune climbs sharply upwards.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Towards the embankment that Thea told you about. Where at that distance, you as well can hear sleepy coughs. Someone elbows someone else. Someone mutters in Goblin. Keep your eyes open. Yeah.
I send a quick message to Thea. Thea, I need you to circle around the lookout. Be really cautious. Why? Because I need you to find out where Baron is located. Okay, I'll do that. She goes to the north side because she knows that there is a bit of a barrier there. Carefully walks all around. Going from one side to the next.
Were you going to message Varin? I meant to ask what you were going to message.
Well, I really want Varin to get out of there, but I almost get the sense that he's somewhere in the camp and he's hiding in a pretty good area.
But do you want to message him?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to say?
Okay. Varin, I need you to listen to me very carefully. And I need you to comply with me. Get out now.
Would it be any helpful information for you to know that I smelled someone approaching?
That you smelled something approaching.
Yes, I smelled. I used my nose. It's that grumpy woman from the Timon tribe.
You're not talking about the sorcerer or their leader.
No, the Gorga. That was her name. I
Yeah,
smelled
Gorga.
Gorga. She has a very distinct smell.
She's nearby.
She's approaching the camp as we speak.
So what do we do?
I don't know. Do you want to talk to her?
Why is she approaching the camp? From which area is she approaching?
Well, I'm smelling her from upwind. And you'll recall the wind is blowing to the southeast from the northwest. Basically the direction of the Timon tribe.
Okay. So she's coming in from the other side.
I mean, you do have message.
I do have message. I'm gonna go down the dune just a little bit,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna send a message to Gorga.
Okay.
Gorga, this is Adran. Can you hear me?
Well, this is a different thing. How does this happen?
It is one of my specialties. I can communicate with my entire team from certain distance away.
Useful. What have you
Well,
learned, child?
I've learned that these hobgoblins are forming an alliance with you just because you have some hidden power. And that's their only reason. If you comply with their alliance, then they'll work along with you. If you don't comply with their alliance, they will kill you and take your power away from you.
You have proof of this.
Written inside this journal that I hold next to my head.
Bring it to me, lad.
You
Right.
note, by the way, Adrian, there's actually a small shift in her tone as she replies to you, with a small incremental increase of respect.
Good. Stay right there. I'll make my way to you.
I see the camp. I am standing a little a ways away.
I see you. And I'm approaching from the south.
Where?
Or are you just walking up right to her?
Yeah.
Okay. She doesn't give quite a start when she sees you, but she's just kind of like, as you meld your way out of the sand, and calmly holds out her hand. Do you give her the
And
journal?
what?
She holds out her hand.
Yes,
Do you give her the journal?
I give her
Okay.
the journal.
She flips it open, scanning the pages.
Travel, adventure, fighting monsters.
Moving to the last page, she reads it. You've seen her when she was angry at Bakatamon,
Mm-hmm.
when she effectively smacked an uppity lad down, so to speak. Reading this, her face transforms into a rictus of pure rage, bared fangs and tusks, and her eyes become bloodshot, visible even through the flying sand.
I'm a little creeped out.
She looks up, and her voice has even changed. It has become deeper, hungrier, filled with rage.
I speak as priestess of the Tamon tribe. I speak with the authority of Bakatamon and his wife Thía. We will not accept their alliance. Destroy them.
Well, there's at least one member of my tribe that will gladly accept.
Your hunter friend.
Good guess.
It was not difficult. He is easy to look upon and understand his thought.
Well, will you be assisting us, or will you leave us to take care of this?
I will take this to Thía and Bakatamon. I have work I must do to ensure, if you fail, that they do not succeed. Understand this, lad. While
I understand.
While I live, no one will delve the secrets of the temple without my permission.
Understood.
If they seek it, then they seek death. Visit it upon them.
Will do.
I expect to see you blood-soaked with their essence, whole on the morn.
I promise. We will deal with these guys before we return.
I might grow to like you yet, lad.
Likewise.
Except I am no lad. Get about your day.
And she slides the journal into her satchel. You actually notice that her mouth has actually begun to bleed from the bases of her tusks and fangs. She has gritted her mouth so hard.
Yeah, might mean not to get on her bad side.
Then she
I
turns
sent a
and
message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
She turns and
and
starts
walks
striding.
away.
Yep, she leaves rather rapidly with an angry stride. You can ascertain that she probably came out here, maybe with permission, maybe not, to find out what we have learned, if anything. She does not usually let things go by the way if they can be done today. So, you were going to send a message.
Varin, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can smell you. What is it?
Roll for initiative.
You might want to tell Thea to move out of the way.
Hey, Thea.
Thea does
She's
not
in
respond.
range.
Thea does not respond.
Oh, because she's not.
By the way, since you did come out of hiding, if you want to move any closer to the camp, please give me a stealth check.
All right. Let's see. Stealth. Here we go.
A nat 20. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, yeah, you feel pretty confident that you're going to proceed and no one's going to hear you or see you in this flying sand. Do you wish to cast a message?
So now I cast message to Thea. Hey, Thea, can you hear me?
She does
Yes,
reply
I
in the
can.
affirmative.
Yes, I can. What's the word? The word is we strike the camp and leave none alive.
Are you going to advise her to move away? Per Varin's warning?
Oh, one more thing, Thea. Yes? I'd advise you to move off that dune. Varin is going to unleash something harsh. Understood, she says. And she is now off the dune.
In that case, unless she wants to change her position before we actually get going. Does she want to move closer to you, for example?
Oh yeah, she wants to move closer.
Okay. Let me know when you are ready to begin the eradication process.
All right. Going to begin the eradication process now.
Okay. Roll for initiative.
Right. Come on, where's mine? Go. Initiative. And where did Thea go? There's Thea.
What happened there?
Oh, I have no idea. I thought I
Why
rolled
does she
the
have
initiative.
Oh, she has advantage on initiative rolls because she has a weapon of warning.
Oh, forgot about that.
I almost did as well. Alright, so let's get our tracker up. Let me shrink this down.
I still can't believe I rolled in the 24 initiative.
No kidding. Okay. Top of the round, we are undiscovered. Adran, what would you like to do?
Well, I still don't have my weapon out.
True. Nor activated.
So my my first move is actually going to be pulling out my sanguine nonetheless.
Okay.
And I'm going to use one of my spells to initiate.
Spell slots.
Let's see. There we go. There's the arrow. It's going to be using force on my blade.
Okey-dokey. What, not thunder?
Oh my gosh, I thought about thunder. Oh, I completely forgot about thunder. Let's do the thunder instead.
Because you did take shatter. So, yes. So sanguine nonetheless, the blade, if you will. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Actually, I want to double check something before we proceed.
Okay.
Characters, items. Here it is. Sanguine nonetheless. Can spend a spell slot while touching the hilt. Okay, so that does not take an action to do. So you can
that
activate
doesn't
the
take
blade.
an action.
I suppose not. I don't. That's not indicated in what I wrote down. Sanguine nonetheless. Once per day. That's so you can regain half your maximum hit points. Can spend a spell slot. Okay. I guess it doesn't take an action. Alright.
Oh, that's cool.
I have to double check that. Maybe I meant to write it as an action, but well, we'll go with it as is for now.
All
So
right.
the blade activates with a it is thunder, so it activates with a thunderous crash, hardly heard over the howling winds, but enough of a difference that you can hear, especially from the tent you're right next to, a startled cry. What would you like to do, sir?
I would like to attack that tent.
The tent, or would you like to go into it and then attack?
Well, into the tent.
Just saying, because you said, go attack the tent.
Go into the tent and attack.
Fair enough. Alright, you can go ahead and go in.
All right. And I don't know who I'm attacking. Oh, there it is. Character just popped up.
Indeed. So you can go in. The person is laying on a mat. They're awake as a result of hearing a thunderous crash, but they are still prone, and you have a melee weapon. If you want to attack them while they're prone, you have automatic advantage.
Automatic advantage. Right. Attacking them.
Somehow, I'm not surprised.
First strike.
You're hitting the damage roller again.
Oh, dang it. Alright, let me
Hit
try
the
that
name,
again.
not the damage. There it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
that'll hit. 25 to hit for your blade echoes a peal of thunder and you see blood spurt out your target's ears
Oh.
as you deal him 7 damage. It is as you smack him with thunder from your blade, you see that he does have the title of Blood Hand on his armor. No, it's not his armor, sorry, on his clothes. So that was your first attack.
And here goes to my second attack.
That will also hit for another 9 damage. Anything else for you, sir? You are attacking from surprise. We have the surprise round.
Yes.
So you've done your attacks. You can retreat if you wish and trigger no attacks of opportunity.
I think I will step out of the tent and move toward the other blood hand using my action surge.
Okay. And advantage because he's also prone.
Mhm.
Awake, but prone.
Have it on advantage, and I will attack him.
Oh dear. Go for it. Yeah, dirty 20 will hit for 10 thunderous damage. Nice. And your extra attack,
And-
sir.
My extra attack, again on him.
Fair enough.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, 27 I suppose I'll allow to hit for 8 thunder damage. Ow.
Ow.
Anything else for you?
That'll be it from me.
Okay. Then we move to... Let's see, where is he? He is surprised, so he doesn't get to do anything. Thea.
All right, Thea, where's your page? Right over here. Okay. Oh gosh, what does she like to do?
Remember that ranged weapons have disadvantage in this strong wind.
Yeah, so I'm going to have her. Let's see. Okay, so her speed, what is 35?
Yes.
Okay. So 30 and let's see. Oh, she's already equipped her longbow. But does she have her sword? She does have her sword equipped. Oh.
I mean, she can draw out whichever weapon she prefers.
Okay, so I'm gonna have her draw her short sword and attack the last guy I attacked.
Very well. She has
Right
advantage on this melee attack and sneak attack if she hits. Go for the attack.
All right. So, short sword. Here we go. Oh, wait. I forgot to do advantage.
Okay, go ahead and do it again, just as normal. And we'll go with the higher of the two results.
Okay.
Oh, I said as normal. Alright, so we'll go with... So I did say as normal, and then you rolled with advantage anyways. So we'll go with that 20. Okay? Because that was the
Okay.
first of the two results. Go ahead and roll sneak attack, because that 20 is definitely going to hit.
Okay, so sneak attack. Is that also on advantage or normal?
No, you just roll sneak attack.
Okay.
There it is.
Sneak attack. There we go.
14 and 8 becomes 22 points of damage.
Right.
She stabs him right through the throat.
Ouch.
And he expires.
And then she's going to.
Now, as another side note, she can hide in the sand the same way she can hide in the rain.
Okay.
If she wants to
And
use her
that's-
bonus action to make a stealth check.
And she is going to do that.
Okay.
So, bonus action, stealth.
And then I would suggest that she move another 10 feet somewhere.
All right. Okay, and then she's going to move back over here.
Okay. A 24 is an excellent stealth check.
All right.
Now, you actually can't see this from where you are, but it is now Varin's turn. Varin bursts up from underneath the sand where he had hidden himself on the... Like, literally, Thea passed within 5 feet of him.
Oh my gosh.
I was using hide in plain sight,
Mm.
which gives me a plus 10 to my stealth check. So earlier when I
No
rolled
way.
a stealth check, that 25 was actually a 35. as long as I took no actions, bonus actions, or movement. Like I said, I could not move.
Oh gosh.
And
That
Varin's
is
going to
insane.
Varin's going to utter, "Watch your step," in Goblin.
Oh boy.
And he is now concentrating. And he is going to make excellent use of Landstride and this difficult terrain. I don't know if you can see him from where you are now.
No, I can't.
Okay. Let's just say that those guards are going to have an interesting time pursuing. This guy is surprised. Surprised, surprised. Surprised, surprised. Surprised, surprised. Surprised. Come on, move. There we go. Surprised, surprised. Alright, top of the round. Everyone is awake. Surprise is over. Adran, it is your turn, sir. What would you like to do?
Well, is this guy out of his tent?
No, everyone is still in their tent.
Okay. I am going to move back into the tent and attack this guy.
He is
Again.
still prone. You have advantage on your attack.
Ooh. Well then.
They can't move when they're surprised.
Advantage and attack sanguine nonetheless.
Technically, no, that's right. Never mind. 8 fire, thunder damage. I'm so used to saying fire with you.
Well, I did do a lot of firing.
Yes. Oh, jeez. But bump. All right, you do hit for another 8 thunder damage. Anything else for you, sir?
I will hit him again.
Go for the attack. 24 will hit for another 8 thunder damage, and he needs to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Fail, fail, fail.
He meets the DC and succeeds. He is not yet dead.
Not
Anything
yet.
else for you, sir?
I'm going to stay right here and make sure he dies.
Okay. He sputters something. You're not entirely sure what he's saying. Let's see here. And all of a sudden, the sound of the howling wind outside goes away. You hear nothing. No sound at all. Oops. That's me. Give me 1 second.
Alright.
We need to set something here. Eventually. But the system wants to do what I'm telling it to do. Okay. Oh, come on. Sorry, give me a second. Small
Alright.
glitch on my end.
Oh.
There you go. Alright, so having done that, he suddenly smirks at you, rises up, turns, and just walks out. He's used 15 feet to stand up, so he can only move 15 feet. That will trigger an attack of opportunity if you wish.
I will definitely take advantage of that.
Go for the
I
attack.
gotta turn it off advantage
Correct?
and keep it on normal.
Yes.
And here we go.
You know for certain that your blade hit, and nothing happened. You
Wait,
hear
what?
nothing. You hear nothing. Not even the crash of thunder from your blade hitting him, which you can clearly see it did do. And yet, you hear nothing.
What?
As he just strides away out of the tent.